Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Jenny Halpin, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Sergeant Adam Hanley. This evening, we are honoured to acknowledge Major General Timothy Arsenault, Deputy Commander of the Canadian Joint Operations Command, accompanied by Major General Hugh McCaslin, Deputy Chief of Joint Operations, and the accompanying delegation. We also warmly welcome the members of the Australian Defence Force Rowing Club. As always, we welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the Pool of Reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of Perth College visiting from Mount Lawley in Western Australia. Australia's Federation Guard is the tri-service ceremonial unit of the Australian Defence Force. They provide a ceremonial presence at civil and military events and during visits to Australia by foreign dignitaries. The Guard will now dismount the catapult party from the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier. If you are able, could I please invite you to stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Catapult party, attention! Catapult party, present arms!
Students and those who require a seat, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends would mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament. Flowers of the forest, wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Signalman John Edmond Cummins. John Cummins was born on the 10th of October 1918 in North Adelaide, the eldest son of Edmund and Teresa Cummins. He grew up in Adelaide, where he was educated at Rostrevor College. For a time, he worked at the office of Goldsborough, Morton Co. and was later employed as a wool classer at G.H. Mitchell and Sons. John Cummins enlisted in the militia on the 22nd of December 1939. After being allotted to the Australian Corps of Signals, He went into camp at Largs Bay in the west of Adelaide and qualified as a linesman. The Australian Corps of Signals was responsible for installing, maintaining and operating all types of telecommunications equipment and information systems. During the Second World War, communications had to be maintained around the clock, under all conditions, no matter how difficult the task, by dispatch rider on motorcycle, over the telephone or wireless, or any other means. After an initial period of part-time duty, in September 1941, Signalman Cummins was called up for full-time duty as a linesman. Toward the end of the year, on the 27th of December, Cummins married Catherine May Tarrant. Although Cummins would continue to serve in Australia, the couple's time together would be short. At the end of May 1942, Cummins entrained for Darwin, where he joined Northern Territory Force Signals in June. In July, he formally enlisted in the 2nd Australian Imperial Force, becoming part of the volunteer force that, unlike the militia, was able to serve outside Australia and its territories. He experienced some problems with his right knee early in 1943, but by September, Cummins had recovered and travelled home to South Australia for leave. In December, he was attached to the 2nd 1st Australian Field Regiment, but returned to his unit in January 1944. In May, he transferred to 1 Beach Signal Section, and in June to 2 Beach Signal Section, based in Queensland. On the 2nd of September 1944, Cummins was working in Dead Man's Gully in Cairns. There, the gravel pit in which he was working caved in on top of him, and he suffered serious internal injuries. He died in an ambulance on the way to hospital. John Cummins was 25 years old. Today, his remains lie buried in Cairns War Cemetery among 99 Commonwealth and 19 Dutch war graves of the Second World War. His name is listed on the honour roll on my left, among almost 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Signalman John Edmond Cummins, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
Uniform party, shoulder out.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Uniform party, present arms. Uniform party, shoulder arms.
Lest we forget.
Lest We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozieres or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.